Hello YouTube, this is a video on how to replace the battery in a universal power supply. This is from my old computer building days. I bought this universal power supply probably back in about 2000, 2002. And it's just kind of followed me to my houses. I mean, it's in my 20s then. And it's a CyberPower 825 AVR. Universal power supply. They don't even make this anymore. They make like updated versions of it. But I had this and I was about to throw it out. And I'd have to recycle the battery in it. It's a special type of battery. It's sealed lead. Well, let's look at it. So let me flip this over and I'll show you what was in it. So what I did is I just unscrewed where the battery is on the back here. And this just pops right off. And as you can see, the battery's right there with the terminals and everything. And I took a look at it before. This actually came off there, but I'll show you where it goes. And it's just a basically sealed maintenance-free chargeable battery. It says to recycle, don't dispose. It has lead in it, so you don't want to do that. And yeah, I went on eBay and I bought another battery. This is 12 volt. This HR9, I believe, means 9 amp hours. So I just bought the same type of battery, so that way it fit in here, in this casing. And it has this nifty sticker. It says, please lean UPS unit to one side and pull out the plastic strip to remove the battery. Now, they tell you, oh, it's not serviceable, blah, blah, blah. So you might avoid the warranty, you might not, depending on them. But I mean, it's just a battery. You just got to be careful. So you pull the battery out. It is very heavy, so I might need 2 hands for this. But you just pull it out of there, and these leads are going to come out, and I'll show you what to do with the leads. So I have the battery out. Just to show you, there's a black lead, which is the negative, and there's a red lead down here, which is a positive. And the reason why they have these plastic little protective things on there is because they don't want you to short it. So even though this battery has been in here, and I haven't used it in like God knows when, it's been over 10 years. Probably the last time I used it was like 2004 or 5. You're going to carefully disconnect these leads on the battery just by pulling them away. Make sure that you don't touch positive to negative. This battery would be dead, but the battery you're probably changing out, if you're watching this, might be newer and fresher. And it just pops right out. Just make sure that you remember that red goes to red and black goes to black, and you should be all set. And now, let me introduce the new battery. So this is what I bought. I bought it off eBay. Not sure if it's the world's best battery or not, but I will tell you later how I'm going to use this universal power supply. It's a sealed lead acid battery. It's got to be 12 volts. It also says 6 volts. I guess you use both. 12 amp. It's a 9 amp right there. 12 volt 9 amp. I was looking at all the options on there. It's a 12 volt 9 amp battery, and I got it for $16.20. Definitely cheaper than buying a power supply, and then maybe even buy a used universal power supply and just replace the battery, because most people or a lot of people will think that it's totally dead and that you have to get rid of it. So this is the battery, 12 volts, 9 amp hours, and the way that you can tell what battery you need, obviously you're going to open it up. A lot of universal power supplies use like one of these or multiple ones in bigger universal power supplies. And if you notice, it has a red and a black, so it's really easy to hook this back up, and it has protective caps so they're not shorted. Also, these probably ship with just some voltage, so you definitely don't want to short circuit, which means you don't want to touch the positive and negative together. And yeah, you just put it right back in the unit. So let's put it right back in the unit. Now, as you remember, this had a sticker on it. This is the old battery. So you definitely want to peel the sticker off. It'll just make it easier to get the battery out when you need to. You could tape it down. You could glue it down to the new battery. But I'm going to put it back on so that way you can get the battery out easier. So when you tape the battery puller, you have to kind of plan for how you're going to put this in. And the other one had a label up, but you can't go by that. You have to go by where the contacts are, because this side are where the contacts go, and it has a little indentation there. And the other side doesn't, so it's got to go in this way with the contacts on there. You connect red to red, black to black. See what that looks like, and then we just put it back in. Screw the door down after we put it back on, and we should be all set. So as you can see, we put the black terminal, the terminal connector there, the red one on the red. This came color coordinated. Red means positive, black means negative. And then we're just going to put it right back in the box, being careful to try to fit it in there. I might need 2 hands for this. You're just going to put it in with the contacts on this side really carefully, make sure they connect. And then we should just screw the door on and we'll be all set. Just to warn you, it's a very tight fit. You might have to compact this down, but make sure you still have the terminals connected. Really, really tight fit. Okay? Put the door back on. Make sure the battery puller thing there stays in there. I'm going to put the screws back in. And then we'll plug it in and see if it has a charge. The way that you can tell if your battery's bad, by the way, if you plug it into the battery controlled outlets and they don't work at all, you know your battery's like really dead. Alright, so the top plug goes to the universal power supply. When I tried to turn it on before, it would do absolutely nothing. So hopefully it will do something when I push the power on. So here we go. Well, there you go. And the battery's working, the power's on. It never lit up like that when the battery was bad. So it's kind of cycling, which is fine. It's got to recharge the battery. I recommend that you leave it plugged in for a while. And you can test it. These are the ones that do not have battery power. This is just a cheap charger and the light turns on. Okay. Let's try the battery power now. Let's see if it turns on. And if you notice, it now works. It's lit up when you're in the battery thing, so it's recharging the battery. It's powered on. And I would show you that if you turn it off, the battery power should still work. But again, it's a new battery, so you want to leave it charging for a couple hours. It should be fine. And like, this thing hasn't been used since 2004, somewhere around there. So it's doing an awesome job, and it cost me $16 and change just to put in a new battery. So that is how you change the battery out in your universal power supply. And again, one last note, if you have like a rack unit, a rack mounted one, it might have more than one battery. So you have to open up the battery compartment and see, 1, what type of batteries it takes, and 2, how many of them. Because some of the bigger ones take more than one battery. So hope this helps. One last note too, remember to recycle your old battery. This guy took me all the way to the recycling center, so I took those protective plastic tabs that were on the new one and I put them on the old one so it doesn't short, and I'll put it to the side for storage until I can recycle it.